Wonderkid to Watch, a segment we do every podcast where we go over a young player who has a lot of potential and a player to watch, a Wonderkid to watch. And this segment, this podcast, we're going to be talking about Eric Garcia, 19-year-old Spanish defender from the Barcelona Academy, La Masia, who was taken from that academy to Man City. Now, he's slowly been rising up, and ever since the restart, we've seen Man City starting Eric Garcia. He's only 19 years old, just keep that in mind. And I think that, I really do think that he can be a top class player. I say that for all the Wonder Kids to watch because they can be. All of them can be top class players. But Eric Garcia, not something we see more often. He's 5'11" defender, and he's absolutely incredible for Pep Guardiola's style of play. Pep Guardiola wants the central defenders or defenders overall who can pass quite well and play from the back, and overall with Pep Guardiola's team focusing on the defenders who can pass the ball and make intelligent moves. And Garcia definitely has some key attributes, just passing ability as a defender, and he's also cool and calm. We've seen players such as John Stones and Otamendi just not really getting that much playing time ever since the restart, and they're being replaced with Eric Garcia, alongside Eric Garcia being put alongside Laporte, and overall just very, very intelligent and clever play. And I think that is what Manchester City needs in terms of just the overall defense problems that they've been having. Specifically, we saw earlier in the season when Laporte was off, you could see that lack of depth. They had to put Fernandinho in the back line for Man City, and I think that Eric Garcia, if he develops into what he's capable of, can be a great future defender for Man City, and they're looking to do that. But of course, there's also interest from Barcelona to bring him back to Barcelona, and of course, he could take that option. But overall, I think he is an interesting player for the new type of football we're seeing. I think he's not really a physical threat, if I'm to be honest. 5'11", lacks physical qualities. He just has very clever, strong passing, intelligent play that we're seeing in new football with the arrival of Pep Guardiola, and he's changing the way teams play, specifically how center backs play, how they're being more part of the attacking threat. And we can see that with players like Eric Garcia being brought up that way, focusing more on their passing ability and how they can build up and attack. And I think that Eric Garcia, to be honest, Pep Guardiola was even talking about his lack of physical qualities, because I think it is a key thing to highlight as a major weakness for him, is that he's 5'11", and the Premier League has some very physical teams whose strikers will dominate him potentially. And even though Eric Garcia is claimed to not make that many mistakes, he will have some difficulties to face with that. And Pep Guardiola even admitted that he might not play Eric Garcia against teams which are going to be more physically dominant, and plays center backs who can more handle that. And I think Eric Garcia I think he's going to be a unique type of defender. I think he has the potential, but I'm a little skeptical, if I'm going to be honest. I think that if he can adapt with the lack of physical qualities that he has as a defender, and use what he has available to him, the passing ability and just overall his intelligent play, and how he's cool and calm, I think it will be interesting as a defender as we see these new defenders show, and just overall a strong potential future, and one of the few wonder kids that we see who are defenders. And we usually see that love of going towards attack-minded players such as strikers and attacking midfielders, but we're seeing, of course, a wonder kid who is a defender to watch.